people, man. Part 2. Okay, we're going to do the book highlights, but we're taking it from this book today. The Flat Earth Conspiracy by Eric Dubai. I'm saying his surname, Dubai. Dub. In etymology, black man. Dub, land. Dub, black land. Dubland. Don't forget Cheddar Man. The oppressive scientists seem to think that Cheddar Man was melanated. Okay. Check it out, people, man. See how you're being deceived, man. So who you gonna pick? Who you picking? Picking man, or you picking the actual creator? Okay, NASA's logo. NASA's logo is a giant red forked serpent's tongue. Don't forget the medical industry, man. Serpent on a rod, man. Greek mythology and that, man. It's all linked in, man, people, man. It's all linked in. NASA's logo is a giant red forked serpent tongue overlaying the starry heavens. Serpents, and specifically their forked tongues, have long been associated with lying, deceit, cleverness, two-facedness, manipulation, and with Satan, the devil. Why would the National Aeronautics and Space Administration choose this as their official logo? Yeah, why? Why, people? Why? The United Nations, the New World Order government headquarters built on land donated by 33rd degree Freemason John D. Rockefeller, is represented by a logo flag with clearly depicts a flat earth divided into 33 sections. Check out the United Nations logo. Okay, you got the Antarctic ice wall. Remember, there was no ice. Yeah, if you look on some older maps, yeah, in the 1500s, past the 1500s, yeah, there's no ice on Antarctica, man. Do you understand? No ice on Antarctica, man. Okay, where are we? The United Nations. So there are 33 officials degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. We began the Freemasonry, man, do you understand? And the United flag features a flat earth divided into exactly 33 sections. Why would the United Nations founders choose a logo flag of a flat earth map divided into 33 sections? How is it that C. Frederick... Can't pronounce that. If you can read it for me. KLEINKNECHT, the head of NASA, retired and immediately became the head of the 33 degree Freemasonry. How is it that all the forefathers of the ball earth theory and so many NASA astronauts are all Freemasons? The Masons' esoteric religion is the very basis of their symbol and rituals. Is sun worship. It's Apollo, man. You're being tricked. From their first day in the lodge, Masonic initiations learn that Freemasonry is all about the light of enlightenment. Okay. Illumination, hence the Illuminati. And that's why, yeah, I was seeing all these shouts, and I told my brother I was in the chariot, man, and he said that he's seen one, yeah, with the triangle shape in the sky, man. So it's obvious, man, it's that who you pledge allegiance to, man. And hence worship of the sun as the giver of light. Masonic halls are purposely constructed to correspond with the motions of the sun, which will probably tally up with the Book of Enoch, man. Do you understand? But they're just lying to you, man, acting. They are always situated intentionally facing east towards the sun, with the worshipful master sitting in the far east on a throne engraved with a picture of the sun. The high festival of the Masons is on Christian's St. John's Day, or the 24th of June, otherwise known as Midsummer's Day, when the sun arrives at its annual highest elevation in the summer solstice. Regarding the Masonic rite of... If you can read that for me, please, people. CIRCUMAMBULATION. 33rd degree Freemasonic historian Albert McKee says the Freemasonry people always walked there 3 times around the altar while singing a sacred hymn in making this procession. Great care was taken to move in imitation of the course of the sun. This rite of circumambulation, I think it says, undoubtedly refers to the doctrine of sun worship. Sun worship, man. JC, sun worship, man. You've been tricked. You've been tricked, man. By people who pretend to go to outer space, but we now know space is water. Yeah, space is water, and you can't go past the Van Allen radiation belt. Yeah, rockets don't go into out of space. Yeah, but they do. Like ships will sail from land space to land space. Yeah, in between the land is space. Yeah, space is water. Do you understand? But these know the truth, and they're lying to you, and they use the media as a weapon. So Stargate, Star Trek. Do you understand? Pushing out their indoctrination through media, because the media is a weapon. It's the world's biggest weapon, man. I found that really interesting, man. And you're being lied to. And unfortunately, some of my family are part of secret society and they're sold out, and they chose to not want to keep the law of the living creator. Do you understand? Right, history lesson. Next. Nation Knows Their Colour Line by J.A. Rogers, 1600s, scholarly backed. So, all the barbaric peoples, all the conquered were represented, says Jury. Slaves were so numerous in Rome, says Pilmini, that we required the service of a nomenclator even to tell us the names of our servants. So then you got to go and say, hang on, Rome had servants. Rome had servants. So how did Rome really look? They were melanated, man. Rome, yeah, is melanated, and I showed you that before. And they had slaves, man, and them slaves overthrew them, man. The Hanoverian dynasty, man. If you look at the, I wasn't planning on bringing this book out, but yo, I'll bring it out because it makes sense to me, man. So let me just go back. Sorry, I'll get back a bit further for Rome. Rome, okay. So you can clearly see. Oh yeah, buddy. You can clearly see the pictures of Rome. Yeah, these are melanated individuals, swarthy individuals in Old English, and basically these were taken over, man. It's Esau, man. There's one with cameras, man. That's Rome. These are Roman coins, man. Rome. Okay. And then you now know that Rome got took over by the Paleo tribes, yeah. And who's in power? Who's in power now, man? King Charles of J5th. Do you understand? The public custodian sat on David's throne. Vlad the Impaler's ancestor, and there's their coins after the Rome. Do you understand? Because obviously they came and took over, man. They took over, man. As it says in the Book of Maccabees. So numerous in Rome. So you got the slaves, yeah. Obviously in this book it also states that and if you're watching my videos, bro, I know you sold me out, man. You sold out, man. And I started to learn too much. Yeah, I was wondered, man. You need to watch my videos, man. Look, if you are, take a pen and paper and learn. You probably know this information anyway, man. McRidgie adds that the legends and history of the Scottish Highlanders were both witnesses to the existence of purely black people there. McKinley and Campbell. Oliver Conroy, kept my family out, man. Yes, man. I want restitution, a fitting form of compensation for being abused and treated like shit in the societies. I want restitution for all my people, man. Understand? I want them to be brought out of the poverty that they're in, man, by the Paleo tribes and the ones who sold out the house Negroes, man, who are benefiting. All right, I want to take the Jew and Gentile with me, man, the decent ones, man. Understand? You got this here, the prisoner list. So we get kicked out, and then we get made prisoners of war, get to work on plantations. All these melanated individuals, man, are taken from ports in Liverpool. Loads of Campbells. Look, brown, black, ruddy, healthy, brown, do, same. Do you understand? Ruddy, reddish brown, black, brown. Do you understand? These are the prisoners that are taken, man. Don't forget Cheddar Man. You understand, people? This is us, man. And you got this book here. The Everyday Life of the Barbarians, the Goths, the Franks, and the Vandals. Understand? The ones who practice assault to racism, man. The Paler tribes, the people from the north, man. So, page 20 of the book. The Romano-German relations, but its physiological impact was tremendous. Alaric and his followers are usually credited with the sack of Rome in 410. In truth, few of the inhabitants seem to have been slaughtered, and it was mainly the houses of the aristocracy that were looted and destroyed. The ancient buildings of Rome did not greatly suffer, and the fact that Alaric was a Christian preserved the churches, yeah, and changed, yeah. So the Christians, yeah, the Rome turned the hijack, yeah. They turned the Paler tribes, yeah, took over Rome, and then they turned the hijack, yeah. Rome had the hijack of false JC in that, man. You understand? I thought, yo, fuck this, man. We'll just step into your shoes, man. We'll just touch up a few little things, man. Wash a few images, man. We'll just claim it to be ours, man. Do you understand? The ancient buildings in Rome did not greatly suffer, yeah, because they just walked into their shoes, man. Another long migration was that of the Vandals, who were by the 1st century AD had left the Baltic regions for Cilicia. Some of them remained there, this branch being termed the Siling Vandals. Another group, the Asidings, were more mobile and eventually crossed the Danube on to Roman territory, where they were briefly employed as federates. In 406, the Vandals and the motley arm of barbarians took advantage of the weakening of the Rhine frontier and freezing of the Rhine itself to cross into Gaul. For about 2 years, their bands raided widely over Gaul without let or hindrance. They crossed the Pyrenees into Spain. Remember the Iberians, my family? We were in Spain, man. 2 more years after raiding passed before the Roman government could achieve a temporary settlement. Rome then set an army of Visigoths upon them. So that Rome had the Visigoths fighting for them, man. And then the Paler tribes then joined together. Then, do you understand? Reducing both barbarian threats, the policy was partially successful, for the Scythians were most annihilated. I found that interesting, man. Anyway, that's the history lesson done, people. So I think we've done everything now today. So Law, Torah, Papal, Human Rights, Truth Pack, Chauffeur Blast, Song of Praise, directed to all the videos and that, man. Book highlights and history lesson. Okay, this is part 2 for the lesson, people. Thank you so much for staying along with this lesson. And yeah, till next time, family. Jew and Gentile. Much love and respect from King David, the Messiah, the Anointed One, the Melchizedek, and Shalom.